come your way at 2:30, and you can catch it all here on MASN. Jim Hunter and Rick Dempsey, joined now by Dan Duquette, the Orioles Executive Vice President of Baseball Operations. What is opening day like for the top executive of the club?
Well, there's always a sense of excitement and hope and rebirth, right? You have a chance to go for the championship again, and I think that enthusiasm is shared by everybody in the front office.
Now, you did maybe too good of a job this offseason. Too many players, then there are roster spots. You still have guys on the disabled list. How are you going to settle this roster eventually? And for the moment right now, 13 pitchers, only 3 bench players.
Well, we need to get down to a more manageable number of pitchers, but we made a little progress yesterday when we traded Ryan Webb to the Dodgers, and that freed up a spot to Jason Garcia. And Jason Garcia's got the kind of stuff that I think he'll fit in well in our bullpen. He's got a good fastball, good breaking ball, and he's got a changeup too if he needs it. And we're going to keep working on the roster to get it straightened out so Buck has the appropriate number of players on the bench.
Well, let's take a look at that trade yesterday as you were able to free up one roster spot as Ryan Webb goes to the Dodgers. And here it is. Tell us about Chris O'Brien, the young catcher, and Ben Rowan, the right-handed pitcher that you got back. Brian Ward, a minor league catcher, and Ryan Webb go to the Dodgers.
Well, Chris O'Brien we like. His dad, Charlie O'Brien, caught over 10 years in the big leagues. He's a switch-hitting catcher. Played in a good program, Wichita State. We like his bat. He's an average catcher, decent throwing arm. And we think he'll be able to come up and help us maybe later on this season. He's a good hitter. Had a real good year last year in Chattanooga. Ben Rowan's an underarm pitcher like Darren O'Day. He's got outstanding numbers in the minor leagues, a career 1.72. Throws a lot of ground balls and keeps the ball in the ballpark. And he's got some experience with Texas in the big leagues, but we think these guys will help us pretty quickly.
Danny, you know, a lot of people say, well, okay, we didn't make a big deal at the beginning of the year like when you brought Cruz to this ball club last year, but you have a little way of handling yourself with it. All the players that you bring in have been tremendously useful to this ball club. They've contributed a lot. What's the key? How do you keep finding guys that come in here and can be so productive?
Yeah, I appreciate that, Rick, but, you know, we have an opportunity for Snyder here to fit in on our ball club. He's a very patient hitter. Did real well with Pittsburgh last year. I mean, one of the top offensive players in the National League second half of the season. And he's a good athlete, good power, and I think he's going to fit in well. Cabrera, the shortstop, we've got an opportunity for him to support J.J. Hardy and Manny Machado. Really good, strong base stealer, good base runner, and he's an excellent right-handed hitter, and Buck's got him out there today against a left-hander, and I think he'll do real well.
You had to be pleased with the series Travis Snyder had at Tampa Bay. Any new player wants to do well in his first series with a team, and he dominated in those 2 wins.
Well, he showed you everything you want to see from a ball player in that series in Tampa Bay. The first game, he showed he could hit. He showed he could run. He showed he could drive in a run. He made a good catch in the outfield, and he showed a good arm. So got off to a great start. He's only 27 years old, so I think this kid's just learning how to figure it out, and he's going to do real well for us.
Dan, I know the wheels are always turning with you. You're always surprising everybody when you're coming up with these kind of deals. Is there something else here in the future that you're working on you might want to let us know a little something about?
Well, we're going to have to get our pitching staff down to a manageable number.
Yeah.
And there's some interest in some of our pitchers, and ideally we'd like to go with one less pitcher on our staff and keep a strong bench. And I don't know if we'll be able to do that right away, but we're still working on it.
All right, you had 2 Rule 5 pitchers in spring training. Both did so well that Logan Verrett didn't get through waivers. You were hoping he would. But Jason Garcia, what a story. Here's a 22-year-old who becomes one of the younger players on the team. I think he's still older than Manny, by the way. But Jason Garcia, just outstanding to make this team.
Yeah, he's got a great arm, and he's got a good slider, very competitive kid. He grew up around Tampa, Florida, and that's a great area to learn how to play baseball. And this kid's got good stuff, and he's got a chance to develop into a real good pitcher, and he's got the opportunity now with the Orioles.